off this sexy map.
So we got Scott W. Sommers, top 4, the recent Maplewood Regional, new format with windups. Let's get started on the deck.
This is the build. I didn't have tour guide, so I had to put in a couple of special attacks for myself. I played 2 Thunder King. This card really helped during the game, just all the games, because one of my Inzektor matches, like, I didn't win it. It was the only loss I had was 2 Inzektors the entire tournament. But he didn't know I was playing game 1, so I was able to, like, sign in everything, every hate that I had for it. But Thunder King's, like, helped in my top 8 match against Karakuris. He couldn't fetch anything, and then Thunder King was just always a threat on board for both games 1 and 3. And it's a 1900 beater and gives the opponent have something to think about and worries, like, if they can't search with Pot of Duality or whatever, and that actually did end up happening at one point. 2 Soldier, it's my anti-Thunder King, because Thunder King hurts my deck as well. So this runs over Thunder King with the boost, and plus it gets into my rank 5s with Shark, and being a 2200 beater, it gets over a lot of things, like if they have a Centipede equipped with a Hornet, or just a Sabersaurus, or most monsters in that Dino Rabbit deck, which are just all beat down except for the Xyz. I played 3 Shark, one of the best cards in the deck. Basically, it allows all my level manipulation and all my loops to start going off. So it's a decent attack, 1500, but like most of the time I'm Xyz with it. It's just really good. It gets me a lot of loops. It gets me into Adria's Tyrus or Zenmayo, which I did a lot this tournament. And Tyrus ended up winning me a match, Adrius won me a match, and Zenmayo won me a match. Triple Magician, because I don't have the tour guides, I need to get to my loops fast. So Wind-Up Magician allows me that with Shark, and going off on the 9th round against Dino Rabbit, hand looping him and then proceeding to OTK him just because I top decked the Shark when I had Magician in hand. Turn 2 allowed me a good game, and just overall, Magician is really good with my combos, and the fact that I can go into anything with it, with whatever effect I choose to activate. 1 Hunter, pretty self-explanatory. It's the hand loop. Don't need to just play 1. It's not needed at 3 or at 2. Triple Rabbit. The card's broken. It doesn't leave the board at all. It always allows, like, I drop it and then I drop Hunter the next turn. Like, it always allows me that I can Xyz the next turn if I don't have, like, a Shark in hand. Triple Rat. I get some pretty broken loops with the Rat, and plus it's a decent top deck in, like, mid to late game. I didn't really see it early game this time around. Like, that's what made me happy. This card's horrible. Like, turn 1, if I don't have, like, another wind-up. If I have 2 wind-up Rats, I really hate this card. But I didn't see it at all early game, and that won me a lot of matches. I played double Maxi for potential wind-up matchups. Anything that was going to swarm. I did play a 6 Sam, so it helped me a little bit there. I was running 3, but we took 1 out for a Veiler. Just because Veiler hits a lot more matchups than Maxi, and I actually did side out Maxi most of the time. Like, I still think that this is a good card game 1 to slow your opponent down and potentially get the edge back, but games 2 and 3, like, there's other more important things that you need to worry about, and Veilers do the work just as well as this. You just don't get the pluses off the Veiler. Effect Veiler, really good against Inzektors because they'll equip, and then you make sure that they're actually equipping a Hornet, and then you Veiler it, and then you drop the Hornet, and you're all good, because the deck can bluff. Like, that's the annoying thing, so you have to be careful about what you're going to play when you're playing, like, Warning and stuff. So that's the monster lined up. I think I played like 21 monsters. Followed up by spells. These are all my one-offs. So Monster Reborn, Mind Control, Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, all really staple, especially in the Mind Control in this deck. I did side it out against like decks like Dino Rabbit or whatever, just because they had more level 4s than anything, and I didn't really play that. So Triple MST. Triple MST is really good in this deck. Because there's so much back row that you have to worry about sometimes, like Warnings and some Bottomless Fiendish Chain. Like, you need to get rid of them as fast as possible. Plus, you side in the 3rd MST almost any game anyway, so you might as well put it in the main board. And that's if you have the MST in the side. I did play 1 Everest because it gets my loops. I did side this out most of the time in game 2, just because I need to worry about my opponent rather than me. And then game 3 I put it back in because I'm going first. 2 Smashing Ground. This was another tech choice because it didn't run Tour Guide. This allowed me to get rid of most of my opponent's big beaters and won me my 8th round match because I ripped it when I had Dark Hole and a Cyber Dragon in hand, and he was going to get a Red Eyes back from Light Pulsar. So it ended up this ended up putting in some work today too, which I'm really happy about. I only played 2 Factory. Factory at 3, I liked for a little bit. And then we kind of saw another build where Windup Factory was at 2, and then I played the Thunder Kings, and then like all my windup stuff was just going off, and I didn't want this to clog my hand or like my board, so I was just like, Windup Factory does need a it's nice that it is a 2 of, 3 of in some builds. I like it as a 2 of in mine. It's just really good card if I get the loop off first turn with like Shark and Magician, and I can pretty much end with like a huge board. It's really good if I get it early. Triple Phoenix Chain. This card is amazing. It stops my opponent's sacks, stops my opponent's effects. Like it it's a good disruptor, and it annoys my opponent so much. This held off like a Dark Armed one of my Insector matches, which I 2-0'd. Like the card's just really brutal against decks. 1 Solemn, pretty staple. Double Warning, staple, and the new staple of the format, Double Torrential. This card is awesome because it just blows everything up and doesn't have like any bias whatsoever. It's just a really good card when your opponent's about to swarm and just blow everything up, and I think it's just an awesome card. I'll do the side deck first and then the extra. Side decked 2 Cyber Dragons, 2 Doom Cow. I did 1 Kitten because 1 Kitten's kind of funny, and I actually did side against Dino Rabbit just because like drop it and then bounce the monster. Like if it was a Logia and they didn't have materials, now I got rid of a beater. That was the important part. You got rid of beaters. Double Dekuro. I decided Max C's out for Dekuro against like Insectors, and just I decided these like this almost always got sided in. I think the Dekuro's like I was always like iffy on. I did play 1 Nico Man King in case I played the windups, which I did, but it never actually was in hand, and he never hand looped me. I hand looped him though, which was hilarious. 3D Visor. Going game 2 against like Dino Rabbit, if like I end up winning game 1, like if I'm going first, I'll probably side this in now, just because they can play the hand traps depending on like what the build is. If they're playing macros, they might not, maybe. But going first, this card's really good against like Insectors and stuff, just because you can drop it and then they have to like have the Hornet at hand. If they don't, they kind of just have to wait. Played Double Decree against road decks, and any deck that could like side deck like traps like goes in and wide really and just hose me over really fast. But these didn't come in too often. I didn't play any stun or anything like that, so I was fine with that. And then 2 Shadow Mirrors for the Insector matchup. The card's really good. Like, it stopped my opponent so much. Extra deck, staple, 3 Zenmaity. Really good card. Special summon, gets loops off. 1 Zenmains. I was going to borrow the second one, but somebody else needed to, and that never actually happened. But in place of that, I did play the MX Saber Invoker. This card is really good with the double Soldier in the deck. Like, I really like this card now. I was iffy on it, but like just the fact that with Shark in hand, I can get a big beater out. I can start blowing up more stuff on their board after I've just finished getting rid of their hand, and they can't do anything about it. It's really awesome. 1 Leviair. I did go into finish off Dino Rabbit. I went into Leviair after I rabbited away a rat, and my opponent got confused. I'm like, effect, detach. So Leviair came in play once. Like, it's really broken with like rabbit plays. If like rabbit, remove rat. 1 Giga Brilliant gets big beaters out. 1 Leviathan, new staple. 1 Acid Golem, 3000 beater. 1 Utopia, 1 Utopia Ray. 1 Adrius, 1 Tyrus, 1 Zenmayo. Really broken cards, just really good destruction. 1 Chimera Tech, just because all my guys are machines, and I side the Cyber Dragons, and 1 Cyclops.
Alright, that's a token. Alright, Scott Sommers, 265 people, top 4. Thanks for watching, guys.